Check. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Levi Monroe, Leviticus Monroe, Mr. Varsity P himself, Olev.
Varsity P.
What's up, man? Welcome. How you feeling?
What's up? This is my first podcast, so I'm feeling like I'm doing new things.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
New experiences and a new experience for me too, because this is all new. We're back for season 2 of the Tyler Setlist podcast. So big stuff. Glad to have you as the first, man.
Heck yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I think I might be your biggest fan. I'm thinking of maybe like 2 people I can think of right now might battle me for that title, but I know that I'm up there. We've been best friends since high school, and I wouldn't be here in any of the music stuff if it weren't for you, because you and I kind of met each other at the very start of it all and kind of have been through it all the way through. So, well, I guess first of all, I'm grateful for you and to you for being a part of that process and always having my back and helping walk down this whole music path with me, bro. So, I know I have favorites of Levi Monroe songs, but I want to start with this question. Which one is number 1 for you? Which one has that spot?
I don't know, that's so hard to say because there's different reasons why I like certain songs.
Sure. Yeah.
Like my favorite sounding song, just like as a whole, would be L3VI. Just because I think it carries like a unique tune, unique vibe to it. 011 would probably be my all-time favorite just because it has the most like powerful meaning to me.
And you've got it tatted on you.
Yeah, I got that one on me.
Yeah, wearing that one. Cool. So LV3I, Levi, right?
Yep.
Or 011. Well, you knew the question was coming. Who is Levi Monroe? Or better yet, who do you hope Levi Monroe is to your fans?
I hope Levi Monroe to his fans is someone that people can just relate to and just like cut them on with any feeling based on any emotion that they have. I want them to just pick a song of mine and just let that song help them get through whatever they're going through.
Yeah. Is that a focus for you a lot in your music, is emotions?
Very. It's just about basically, my music's about a journey of my life that I want other people to use in their life for the better, basically.
Cool.
Music's very spiritual. Before I release a song, before I record a song, before I write a song, I want to make sure that it's supposed to be out there in the world.
Let me ask you this question, and I don't know if I know the answer to this. Do you have a sound? Do you feel like you have a sound?
I think I have a sound as of right now.
Okay. Can you describe it? What is... Genre is kind of almost a term of the past.
Yeah, everything's like mixed together now.
But what are the descriptive words for the Levi Monroe sound right now, at least?
I always say like alternative, hip hop. Of course, alternative because almost everything's alternative nowadays.
True.
But definitely hip hop. I'm very hip hop influenced my whole life. I started listening to hip hop when I started listening to music, but I also grew up on older music, like such as like the 80s and 80s rock and all kinds of just different variations of stuff.
I've always thought that was interesting. You, just in knowing you like equally elevate bands like Def Leppard and artists like Young Thug and Lil Wayne. When you think of those two, places, it's here and here,
Right.
How does that blend in the middle for your sound? Like, what has that done for your sound?
Really, I don't know what it does for my sound. Like, if I'm being honest, I just try to basically. I know this is crazy as an artist, but I think the best music is strictly made off of feeling. So like when I take influences from artists, I hardly notice because I'm just letting my like creativity just flow, just whatever. That's why it's sometimes really hard for me to make music, because I try not to stick to like a certain process. I just try to mix it up. It's hard to force. You can't force a feeling. You just have to let it flow.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I've always seen that in your several creative processes. I know it's such a hard question, but who are your GOATs? Who are your greatest of all time? Give me like, I know there's no way to pick like a one, but can you give me like a top 3 to 5? Is Wayne up there?
I
know he's high for you.
Metaphorically, Wayne is up there.
Okay,
if I name him, I can't put him in any rank.
No order.
Metaphorically, Wayne is up there.
Wayne.
That's most appealing in hip hop to me, is just the writing. It used to not be. It used to be like the sound, but now I see like how important the words are in the music. And
welcome to the dark side.
Yeah.
I've always, that was like early on in our career as musicians. I was always about the lyrics and didn't really care anything for melody.
Right.
And you were obsessed with melody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny that you say that, because I feel like nowadays I am so much more focused on melody than lyrics. And so somehow we have flip-flops. So that's really funny.
We switch places.
Yeah. So Wayne is up there.
Yeah, Wayne is up there.
Who else is up there?
Since we're already on hip hop, I'll say Young Thug.
Thug, yep, knew that one was there.
Young Thug is up there. People just don't understand. The things he does with his voice is like intentional. Like he uses his voice as an instrument basically. And that's what I admire about him the most. Not a diss or anything, but I wouldn't say his is about the lyrics. I'd say his is more about the sound and like the cadence and how he performs, basically.
Yeah. So that's 2 from the hip hop. What other genres have some GOATs?
I'm trying not to say my favorites because.
Why? How are your favorites different from your greatest?
I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. You named them earlier, Def Leppard.
Def Leppard.
I think they make some pretty nostalgic music.
For sure.
It's just a certain feeling. It just kind of relaxes. They got a song called Hysteria, and every time that song is played, it just puts me like almost in a trance of just like peace, and it's just got like some kind of vibe to it. Some kind of vibration.
Sweet. Now, when we talk about your favorites, how much do you think about their creative process when you are thinking about your own? Like, do you think about how, for example, like famously Lil Wayne doesn't write his lyrics, right?
Right.
Does it all in his head. And do you think about like, I wonder what kind of style Young Thug does, and like maybe try that, or does it influence you at all?
I think everybody creates music differently, and everybody has their own like methods. Like you mentioned, Wayne, that's a really cool method. You're not writing it down and reviewing it and thinking about like, oh, this is better than this. You're actually just letting words flow from your mouth, and sometimes that's the best things. Like I said earlier about, it's about feeling. So sometimes that can be the best way for me. I noticed that I try that a lot. Some of my best songs, in my opinion, were from just jumping right into it and then filling the rest with how I felt through the whole thing.
Well, your favorite song included in Present Company, L3.
Yeah, that was one of the.
Yeah, I was there for that. Now I was napping in and out for that, but that was. I remember we were in the Shack studio, and Was that your first time that you tried that method of, what was that, punching in, or did you just freestyle? I think you were like
both.
punching. Yeah, you were doing
both.
a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, I started the chorus, the me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
That was just a freestyle, and then the rest I just kind of like filled it in with however I was feeling in that moment. That's another thing. When you make a song like that,
Yeah.
it's so hard to go back to that exact feeling.
Oh yeah.
And write that song again.
Yeah.
Like write on that song again. Say like we were in a recording process and you didn't finish. It's so like you got to get in that mindset. You got to get
so hard. Do you ever like write a song, somewhere outside of the studio, and maybe it's a couple days before you can record it, and then by the time you have a chance to record it, you're like, man, I can't even tap into this feeling anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
It's crazy, but I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason. So that's why a lot of my music don't get put out, is because if I don't feel that it's right, and other people are even telling me like, hey, you should drop that song. If it don't feel right to you, don't drop it.
So, of course, we know you do the music. We also know that you do the modeling.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. And how do those two worlds collide for you?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's one thing I'm struggling with right now is I'm a busy model right now, which is a great thing. But my heart is music. Like I enjoy modeling. I can do it like all day and I'm happy. Like, but I think my real passion, like my strongest passion, is music. So lately it's been hard to focus more on the music because I'm so busy with the modeling.
I wanted to throw that in there because I know you've been doing the modeling for about as long as you've done the music. And I've always heard you talk about figuring out how those two play within each other, and was just curious of kind of where your head is at with that now.
Right. One thing I find unique is, can't say it's exactly like the music industry, but it's kind of giving me a vision for how the music industry worked. Like, cause I was doing more modeling before music, and I feel like a lot of industries have a lot of similarities like that, like especially entertainment. Like, so I feel like it's helped. It's been beneficial.
Cool. Do you feel like do you see it being an in route to the music? I mean, I think, didn't Sheck West like model for a Yeezy event before he was ever known as the
Really?
Sheck West? Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know that, and I think there's been a couple of people who have kind of gotten in the door modeling for fashion houses and kind of the streetwear brands and stuff, and then have gone musicians, I think. So have you considered it going that route?
I think it's definitely possible. For instance, I had a casting for a runway event in Miami. I didn't get it. I was submitted for it, but that was the exact same runway that Kanye and Pharrell were sitting like front row to. And I was just like, dang. That'd have been crazy. So I definitely think it can open doors. I'm just here for the ride. Like, whatever pops off, whatever doesn't, like, just.
All right, cool. Well, I'll stick to today's episode is about the creative process.
Okay.
So the reason I wanted you for this episode is because I know you have had so many ever-evolving creative processes through your music career. My favorite being the car. Can you tell us about the car and then explain to me, I never understood, why did it work?
The car was great because the car is great. The car
Okay.
The car is great.
So what was so crazy about what you did? In the Texas heat,
Yeah.
you would spend hours in your car with no AC just sweating.
Yeah.
Or with the car off, just...
Yeah.
I remember I would go out there and you would be just drenched in sweat, like it was a sauna. And I'd be like, bro, what are you doing? You okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm writing. Like so nonchalantly. So did the sauna effect, like, did that somehow make the writing better?
I can't say that it made it better. The more places and the more things you can put yourself through, not always intentionally, but it's good. It's good for writing.
Yeah.
Say you're going to the same spot every time and just like, you're not really experiencing things, and that's not gonna help your writing. It'll just stay like in the same spot. But one thing about the car is it's so like, you're confined. Like, there's nobody around you. You're just to yourself. When it's quiet, I know this is dumb, but when the AC's off and your car is off and everything, when it's just quiet, that is really when you can hear how you're feeling. Like, that is when your thoughts just take over. And that's what you want for your writing. You want to hear like every thought and just focus in. And the car just makes it a whole lot easier to do that.
Is that a need for you, that sense of feeling like isolated and alone and kind of closed off in your own little sanctuary? Is that a need for your process?
Yeah. Like, that's most important, I would say, for me.
Yeah.
To start my writing is being completely alone, no distractions. And I don't know if that's because of my ADD or what. Like, I don't know. I just prefer to be alone. Like, I can write, for instance, at BT Studio.
Shout out BT.
When we started going over there, and we would all write on something together and just collab.
So I know you started as a beat maker.
Yeah.
Like, when I first met you, it was because our friend Big Fella was like, hey, you gotta meet this other dude that we were in high school, and you gotta meet this dude, he makes beats. So you've done some of that. I know you don't really do too much of it anymore, but you've done a ton of audio engineering. Still do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that creative process different, or is it still just very inspired by feeling and just kind of tapping into your emotions and trying to feed off of that?
The audio engineering, I'd say, is a different kind of art. Like what you hear, of course. What you hear.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And you have a natural ear for it too.
Yeah. I've been told that by you multiple times, but I don't know how to describe it really. I'm just in love with the mixing. I don't know what it is about it.
What advice do you have to young artists who are just trying to figure out their creative process?
Isolation.
Yeah. Just isolate yourself.
Isolate yourself, but of course, not all the time. Not too much.
But isolate yourself for what reason?
Isolate yourself to be still and listen to what your emotions are.
Yeah.
Be still and listen to how you are actually feeling and share it.
So, tell us, what's next for Levi Monroe?
Levi Monroe kind of took a big break. Levi is still in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Peyton is here today talking about Levi. But Levi's gonna make a return.
So is that you saying that there's a song coming out soon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When?
Possibly on one of Levi's favorite numbers.
Yeah.
And one of Levi's favorite months.
Favorite month, favorite number.
Yeah. So if people can figure that out, then
Okay, so
no,
do
no.
the math. Okay.
So just to let everybody know, Levi wanted to make it out today to the podcast, but he's busy
All right.
working on new music.
Well, thank you. Great. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Peyton, for coming here on Levi's behalf. First season back, it was good to have a familiar face in the seat.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Because I know you said you were anxious, but I was just as anxious.
Shoot, I'm still anxious, bro.
Yeah.